It's been the mystery of the week. A very odd-looking creature washed up on our local beach and has gotten the whole town scratching their heads as to what is it?
While researchers have documented countless extraordinary species, the natural world continues to offer remarkable discoveries that spark curiosity and wonder.
Kind of creepy.
Blowing it away.
Oh, wow.
From a 70-centimeter creature with a uniquely narrow skull, to an ocean dweller with eyes placed high on its head as though gazing upward, and even a translucent winged sea slug that moves with graceful floating motions. This journey showcases 23 of the most captivating creatures ever observed. Let's dive into. In May 2007, a Mexican farmer came across an unusual creature in the wet areas near his property. It measured around 70 centimeters and had a long, narrow head that caused some people to think it might be the young form of an intelligent alien. Others argued it was more likely a reptile or a hairless squirrel monkey, which could explain its long tail, visible spine, and large head and eyes. 2 years after the find, researchers released results from tests done on the strange body. The analysis showed that while it had joints somewhat similar to those in humans, its bone structure shared traits with lizards. Its teeth also lacked roots, unlike those of people. The incident became known as the Metepec creature, and many sources consider the entire event to be a fabricated story. Do you think this unusual 70-centimeter creature could have been a real biological discovery rather than just a fabricated story? Please comment number 1 if you think yes, like me. And the next creature seems to stare straight into the sky with features unlike anything you've seen before. Scientists have documented a unique fish known as the Stargazer, named for the way its eyes sit on top of its head as if looking upward. This species often buries most of its body beneath sandy or muddy seafloors, leaving only its eyes and sometimes its mouth exposed while it waits for prey to swim above. When small fish or other sea animals pass by, the Stargazer strikes quickly, using its upward-facing mouth to capture them before they can react. Some species also have venomous spines, and a few can produce a mild electric shock for defense. Although its behavior can appear dramatic, these traits simply help the Stargazer survive as an effective ambush predator in its natural habitat. And speaking of unusual forms, the next creature looks so graceful that many can't believe it's a predator at all. The sea angel is a strikingly translucent pelagic sea slug of the group Gymnosomata, often with wing-like lateral extensions that allow it to swim through open water rather than crawl along the seafloor. Its clear or lightly tinted body and upward flapping wings give it an almost ethereal appearance. Although relatively small, many species measure only a few centimeters long, and some reach up to around 7 to 8 centimeters in cold water forms. These creatures are effective predators. For example, one species uses specialized buccal cones or hook-bearing tentacles to grasp shelled pteropods, extract their bodies from their shells, and swallow them whole. Their streamlined, gelatinous form, wing-like fins, and predatory lifestyle make them both elegant and efficient hunters in their pelagic environment. But from elegance we take a sharp turn to something that left divers unsure of what they were looking at. These divers encountered a sea creature so unusual and captivating that they could not tell what they were looking at. It resembled a large sea spider, and they were drawn in by the smooth, flowing way it moved. Some sea spiders, and Bathanomus species, are known from abyssal and bathyal zones. These animals can have long legs or an unusually large size compared to their shallow water relatives. While the divers first assumed it was a sea spider, later studies showed it was actually an isopod. Even with this discovery, many details remain unclear. Researchers still have many questions about this interesting creature. The next creature changes its appearance in ways few animals can match. Eels are often thought to be dangerous because some species can produce electricity, but ribbon eels are not one of them. Unlike electric eels, ribbon eels cannot deliver an electric shock. Ribbon eels are known for their striking appearance and their remarkable life cycle. They typically begin life as juveniles with a black body and yellow fin. As they grow into males, they change to a bright blue with yellow markings. Later in life, many ribbon eels are believed to transform into females, developing female reproductive organs and shifting to a vivid yellow color. When a ribbon eel appears fully yellow, it is considered to be in its female stage. The deadly sea beauty is considered one of the most unusual creatures found in the ocean. While many of them reach only about 2 centimeters in length, some can grow as large as 7 centimeters. What makes them even more interesting is the quick way they hunt. They move with surprising speed and can travel through the water faster than the animals they chase. These sea beauties look similar to slugs you might see on land, but their clear bodies make them easy to notice. Their inner parts can be seen through the water, giving them a striking appearance. Another unique trait is the small pair of tiny limbs they use to capture and eat their prey. Watching them in action is truly impressive. Enjoyed the video? Don't just stop at the like button. Hit that hype when you watch on your phone too. It truly helps me out, and I promise to bring you even more awesome content. The next encounter begins with a surprising scene on the shoreline. Now let's turn our attention to a very different scene. A huge creature lies on the shore, its large shape drawing the interest of anyone walking by. As people come closer to get a better look at this unusual mass, they are briefly startled when they notice movement nearby. A cluster of sea snails is crawling across its surface, feeding on its soft tissues. These snails move with unexpected speed, challenging the idea that snails are always slow. It is a striking moment that shows the surprising interactions that can take place along the coastline. Deep below the ocean's surface, scientists discovered a stunning colony of the genus Apolemia off the coast of Western Australia. Even though each colony is made up of many zooids, specialized multicellular units, together they function like a single organism. In one remarkable case, a specimen was filmed forming a spiral ring, estimated at roughly 150 feet long, making it one of the longest animals known. Different zooids in the colony perform distinct tasks. Some assist with floating, some with feeding, others with movement, highlighting a striking example of cooperation and the surprising diversity of life in the deep sea. On January 5, 2014, fishermen in the lagoon of Laguna Ojio de Libra, also called Scammons Lagoon, on the Pacific coast of Baja California, Mexico, discovered a pair of conjoined gray whale calves. The small carcass measured about 7 to 10 foot long, significantly smaller than a typical newborn gray whale calf. Scientists noted that such occurrences are extremely rare in large whales. The finding led to the collection of tissue samples for study. Some speculation linked the abnormality to radiation or other environmental causes, but researchers reported that no evidence supports radiation influence in this case. Do you think discoveries as rare as conjoined whale calves should be studied more closely to help us understand marine life better? Let's discuss in the comments section. Deep in the ocean's twilight zone, researchers from the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute and other organizations have observed the vampire squid, Vampiroteuthis infernalis. Its large upward-looking eyes are excellent for detecting movement in near-dark waters, far below the surface. This deep-sea cephalopod uses a unique anti-predator posture. It wraps its webbed arms around its body and exposes spines and bioluminescent tips, a behavior sometimes described as appearing inside out. While often called a living fossil, this species is the only remaining member of its order, Vampiromorphidae, and retains many ancient features. Although it was described in popular accounts as spotted just a few hundred feet down, in reality, it inhabits depths closer to 600 to 900 meters or more. There is a native Australian marine eel known as the common pike eel, which inhabits estuaries and coastal soft-bottom habitats along the Australian east coast, including New South Wales. It is a large predatory eel with a long body, prominent teeth, and can reach lengths approaching 2 mil. They often hide in the sand with only their head exposed, waiting to ambush prey. Because of their unusual shape and fierce-looking jaws, they are frequently mistaken for sea monsters or strange deep-sea creatures, but they are not dangerous unless handled carelessly. The next creature glows like a soft lantern drifting through the deep. There are deep-sea jellyfish, such as Pandea rubra, a deep-sea hydrozoan found in the Pacific Ocean, especially in places like Monterey Canyon. It lives thousands of meters below the surface, where sunlight cannot reach, making it a rare and mysterious sight. This jellyfish has a transparent bell with a deep red inner structure that gives it a lantern-like appearance when illuminated by submersible lights, although it does not produce strong bioluminescence on its own. Its bell is small, usually around 7 to 8 centimeters wide, and it trails long, delicate tentacles used to capture drifting prey. Because it inhabits such extreme depths, scientists know little about its behavior, life cycle, or true distribution, adding to its reputation as one of the ocean's more enigmatic species. Researchers have discovered a deep-sea sea cucumber with a nearly transparent body that lets you see its internal organs. One species belonging to the family Elpididae was observed at depths over 2,000 meters in the Pacific and had a clear body through which its orange gut was visible. These animals can swim short distances using fin-like appendages, an uncommon ability for sea cucumbers. Because they live in very remote and nutrient-poor zones of the ocean, much about their behavior, coloration, and ecology remains mysterious. Their transparent bodies and unusual adaptations offer a rare glimpse into the hidden life of the abyss. Sea pens are unusual and graceful marine animals that live anchored in soft seafloor sediment, often in deeper parts of the ocean where sunlight is limited. Although they may look like a single creature, each sea pen is actually a colony made up of many individual polyps that work together to survive. One main polyp forms the central stalk, while others branch outward to handle tasks such as feeding, reproduction, and drawing in water. Their shape resembles an old-fashioned quill pen, which is how they earned their name. Some species can glow with gentle bioluminescent light when touched, creating a soft shimmering effect in the dark water. When a sea pen feels threatened, it can rapidly expel water from its body and pull itself down into the sediment to avoid predators. Because they live in areas that are difficult to explore, many details about their daily behavior remain a mystery, but each observation reveals how remarkable and complex these deep-sea colonies truly are. Velella, often called by the wind sailors or wind sailors, are surface-floating colonial hydrozoans found in warm and temperate oceans around the world. They have a small, oval float topped by a stiff sail-like structure, and trailing down below are tentacles used to capture plankton. When seasonal winds and ocean currents align just right, large mats or rafts of velella are pushed toward shore, especially along the Pacific coasts of California and Oregon, where they can wash up in huge numbers. These collections may carpet beaches, creating striking displays of vivid blue or purple color. Though they resemble jellyfish, velella are harmless to humans. Their stinging cells are weak and generally only a mild irritant. Because they cannot steer themselves and rely on wind for movement, beach landings are essentially accidental rather than intentional. But from the ocean's surface, we now return to the seafloor to meet a master of camouflage. The Leafy Sea Dragon is one of the most unusual and beautifully camouflaged animals found in the coastal waters of southern and western Australia. It usually lives in shallow to moderate depths, often among beds of seaweed and seagrass, where its leaf-like body perfectly blends in with the drifting plants around it. These delicate appendages are not used for swimming but for disguise, while small transparent fins gently propel the sea dragon forward. By swaying back and forth like nearby seaweed, it becomes extremely difficult for predators to spot. Its long straw-shaped snout serves as its main feeding tool, allowing it to suck up tiny crustaceans, plankton, and other small prey since it lacks a typical jaw. In September 2009, 4 teenagers in the small village of Cerro Azul, Panama, came across a strange creature that suddenly emerged from a cave. The teens described it as a monster and claimed it began moving toward them. Frightened, they threw stones to protect themselves. They eventually overpowered it and later pushed the body into nearby water. Newspapers soon nicknamed the creature Gollum, inspired by the cave-dwelling character from The Lord of the Rings. The story quickly gained attention, but scientists later explained that the creature was not a monster at all. They believed it was the decomposed body of a sloth, with its fur gone after time in the water, causing its skin to look swollen and smooth. Would you have been startled if you saw a creature like this emerging from a cave? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel to discover more interesting things. Nudibranch sea slugs are some of the most remarkable creatures in the ocean, known for their bright colors and unusual survival strategies. These animals begin life with a shell, but they shed it as they mature, relying instead on a set of adaptations that make them both resilient and fascinating. Many nudibranchs feed on hydroids, sea anemones, or toxic sponges, and they have the rare ability to store defensive materials taken directly from their prey. Some species collect the stinging cells found in hydroids and keep them inside specialized tissues so they can use them later for protection, while others absorb toxic chemicals from sponges and turn those chemicals into their own defenses. Their vivid colors help warn predators that they are dangerous to eat, and their slow, graceful movements make them stand out in the underwater world. Although they may appear delicate, nudibranchs are powerful examples of how marine animals can develop clever ways to survive in their environment. On a Texas beach, the Wildlife Department came across something so unexpected during their regular marine life survey that they could hardly believe what they were seeing. They discovered a sea creature that looked completely different from anything they had encountered before. Curious about the strange find, the team moved in for a closer inspection. To their surprise, they uncovered a small black squishy animal that could fit in the palm of a hand. Even though it measured only a few inches, its unusual look left everyone unsure about what it might be. People online quickly compared the odd creature to the eerie blob from the 1958 horror film The Blob, which had once frightened moviegoers. The squidworm, known scientifically as Tuthydodrilus samae, is one of the most unusual creatures ever discovered in the deep ocean. First found in the Celebes Sea at depths close to 9,000 feet, this strange animal immediately caught researchers' attention with its remarkable appearance. Instead of a typical worm-like body, it has a series of long, flexible feeding tentacles extending from its head, and many paired appendages along its sides that flutter in gentle waves as it swims. When seen on camera, these movements create the illusion of hundreds of tiny legs drifting through the dark water, giving the squidworm an almost alien presence. This species moves with controlled, steady motions rather than struggling to stay afloat, and its delicate patterns of movement make it both calm and mesmerizing to watch. The frilled shark is a deep-sea shark species known for its eel-like body and primitive appearance, which gives it an otherworldly look. It has around 300 needle-like teeth arranged in multiple rows, and its flexible jaws enable it to swallow prey up to about half its body size. Because it lives in deep, dark parts of the ocean and rarely comes to the surface or into shallow waters, it remains mysterious and is often described as a living fossil. While its appearance might be intimidating, its documented behavior and habitat place it firmly among the fascinating but vulnerable creatures of the deep sea. Australia is known for its unusually diverse wildlife, but a discovery made on one of its beaches left locals completely stunned. A small baby was spotted that seemed to be a mix of human traits and mythical features, drawing instant attention from everyone nearby. The tiny figure was coated in a slick, wet layer that gave it an almost magical look, similar to creatures from mermaid stories. As curious crowds leaned closer, they were shocked to see the baby lift its head slightly and appear to take faint breaths. Scientists were called to examine the mysterious figure, yet even after several days of study, they struggled to determine what it might be. News of the strange infant spread quickly, leading to endless theories and questions about where it came from and why it had washed ashore in such an unusual state, appearing partly alive and strangely abandoned by the sea. Did anyone ever think so many weird and wonderful critters were in the ocean? These 23 creatures represent just a fraction of the extraordinary biodiversity hidden beneath the waves. Some of these animals have survived virtually unchanged for millions of years, while others showcase remarkable adaptations that push the boundaries of what seems biologically possible. Let us know in the comments below which creature surprised you the most, or if there are other strange ocean animals that deserve attention. Don't forget to ring the bell, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. See you next time. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.